Okay, so touchscreen. The only things that you can touch that will give you control are going to be your media stores and your CG channel. So if you were to touch CG1 fill, yep, you'll see now we have our Rosstalk control of the expression. Means you can actually spin that knob and go up and down the sequencer list, and you can take whatever page you have highlighted. Obviously, you'll see that working a little later on. So those are the only two. You got your. Those are the only two device control that we have: expression and the media store. All right. The row above that, which is purple at the moment, pink, purple-ish, is what I call a utility row. It has more than one function to it, depending on the button you hit beforehand. So it can select the source to my keyer. I can select a source to go on an aux output. It can run a custom control, and it can also recall a memory. And all depending on what it says in that box. So you see that graphic representation there? Yep. You also see there's a border to it. That means it's interactive. So go ahead and tap that one time, and you see now you have a list on the left hand there for key 1, 2, 3, and 4, and your chroma key engine 1 and 2. But you also have more choices here. So if you selected aux, you now get to pick between aux 1 and 28. And it's again, if you touch the screen again to complete the action. So there you go. What did you do? You just selected aux 1. Can you select aux 10 for me? There you go. So very helpful, where the old panel, you kind of had to do it by color or remember what you had last hit. Yep. We're now giving you that feedback as this is what this row is now controlling. All right, aux 4. If you were to control aux 4. Now put camera 3 into aux 4, which would mean just on that top row there. Yep, there you go. And because we have it in the multi-viewer at the moment, aux 4 has camera 3 to it.
Very cool.
All right, so that's how you would change the source on that row. Just make sure you've got whatever it is you're trying to change. I'd like you to put M2 into key 2. So new area, key area.
Yeah.
So you see you've got selects here.
Yeah.
Where on the old switcher it said key 1 select, key 2 select. So there it's just the word select.
Mm-hmm.
So this drives folks a little crazy because it's, I'm saying select key 2, and they'll come over here to the next transition area which has the key 2. So be ready for that confusion. But select, so if you select key 2, so that's the select, yep, you'll see it now, that top row has changed color based on the theme that we've got going on, and then key 2 is what is selected there. So now if you were to select M2, so that green row,
Yes.
there you go. So now you'll get feedback here, says 2, which is key 2, has M2, the key type, which says auto, and the rate 16. So that's the rate if we faded it in or out.
Yeah.
The auto key means it's taking the alpha channel that may be assigned to that source, combining those two sources together, M2 and the alpha for M2, and creates your key. The trick with that one is not all sources have a second source assigned to it. So in the configuration or the setup of the switcher, we have determined that if you want to use CG1, that it knows it's using a second input, which is the alpha channel for CG1, combines those together so that you get your lower third.
Oh, okay.
I would say it's also done for CG2 and CG3, but you don't have those channels yet. Okay. Which will be, when you get your new cameras, it'll free up the frame sync resources and we can apply them to the expression, and then you get more channels. So
Sure.
you want your new cameras quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's your sort of your key selection area. I'm not sure if this is something new for you guys. This 10 key, which is also referred to as the memory keypad or effects memory. I think that's another product. But this is how you can interact with the system a little bit. You can type in numbers to change the rates for dissolve or transitions, but it also can save a memory pretty quickly, or it can recall a memory as well. And you've got some options here as well. So on the way that the memory is recalled. So at the moment you see it says local row. That just means, hey, if you're interacting with this, it's just messing with row 2. Same for row 1 up here. Okay. Let's talk about the big square box. Notice it says MEPP, which is Carbonite Ultra, and I know that's what you've got in the other space. So MEPP is your program preview. ME, it's the main thing that feeds program. If you tap that, it's because it's got a border around it. Go ahead and tap it. You'll see you've now got the other choices for your MEs. So what you've got there is program, ME1, and mini ME1 and 2. You're probably saying, where is my mini ME3 and mini ME4? Because the switcher is running in UHD, we lose some resources. So we might as well talk about this now. So what do you lose? So your Carbonite Ultra can do 24 in UHD it's 18. There are a couple that are, couple of the inputs are defined as the four quad UHD signals that get gearboxed together to one. So there's 2 of those. So that's why we get to 18. You lose your 2 mini MEs. You lose the ability to do 6 keys instead of 4. What else did we lose? Well, I hated to bring this up, your Ultra Scene. So I don't know if that's anything that you even used on the other side. There was a discussion yesterday. Well, if you don't know anything about it, I'm not going to tell you, other than we don't have it. The idea is when you build an effect on an ME and re-enter it or bring it in as a source on your program ME, you're using keys on that ME. An Ultra Scene frees up that. You can actually create that same effect on an Ultra Scene. It comes in as a single source. You're not using keys on another ME, so it's cool, but it's not available on the UHD. Sorry. The clip player is the other thing you miss too. So not sure if you use your clip player on the other box. Again, if you don't, you're not missing anything. Moving forward, UHD. Okay. Frame syncs as well. So you're limited into what sources you can sync to see or use in your switcher. We have all 7 of them used at the moment. But you do have 7 frame color correctors, which will be very helpful if you ever use a on-set monitor in your show, where you're pointing a camera at a monitor. We can then color correct the monitor to look better on camera. Yeah, so it's worth the price of admission there. And then you've got 4 down converters. You can 4 outputs can be converted to 1080i, 1080p, 720. So that's. We've got one in the multi-view there that says 1080 out. It's essentially the program output, but down converted. So how you use that? Talk to TextFold. All right. Okay, so that there, again, you touch the screen, you have to touch it again. Either touch it again to get out of it, or select an ME. Cool.